I know I'm not the only one who's looked around the kitchen and thought, I have plenty of food, I just need to use it. That's exactly where I was this week. Instead of doing a full grocery haul, I spent just $40 filling in a few gaps and made it a point to build our meals around what we already had in my fridge, freezer, and pantry. I didn't film my shopping trip this time around, but I listed everything that I bought with my local prices in the description box below if you want to check that out. Thank you so much for joining me today. Now let's get into these meals. My son requested pizza, so I made a little individual pizza crust just with a baking powder pizza crust. I followed Budget Bites recipe and I halved it, which is perfect for just two little crusts. And these are par baked. I had the kids kind of roll out their own and then I par baked them for 5 minutes. I didn't have any pizza sauce, but I do have a big can of tomato sauce. I am going to have to figure out something else to do with this tomato sauce, or I'll just put it in the freezer. We only need a little bit. I was hoping I had a small can, but I don't. And Kai requested pepperoni pizza, but I don't have pepperoni, so we're just going to go with cheese. I do have plenty of cheese. Can you throw that in the trash, please? Thank you. Not in the sink, the trash. Oh, well, it's there now. And then I've got some provolone cheese slices. And I think I'm going to pull it in half. Do it like that. Spread it out a little bit more. And I'm just going to bake these for about 6 more minutes. Now that I'm looking at them, they look like cracked Easter eggs, which is kind of funny.
It's pizza done.
It is pizza done. Okay, we got our little individual pizzas and some. We got some strawberries. This is for my little guy.
A cut?
A cut, yeah. You're gonna have to wait a minute or so to eat this though, Bubs. It's gonna be really hot. Oh my gosh. Easy peasy kids lunch. Dinner tonight, I have a few things to use up. I have 3 of these banquet chicken patties left. I really like these fillets. No, they're not like a breast. They are separated chicken formed into a patty, but these are only $6 a bag, and there's 6 patties in each bag. So I feel like it is a really good value, and I like to buy these from time to time for a quick meal. I still have some of these buns that were in my freezer, but I needed to make some room in my freezer, so I took the 2 remaining bags out, and they're in my fridge, so I need to use these up. And I have a bunch of potatoes still. I have not really been cooking with potatoes recently, surprisingly. So this is 3 potatoes peeled and cut into French fries. I'm going to drain these and dry them off, and then we'll get them seasoned. I dried these off with a clean towel, and we're just going to do a really basic seasoning. Some oil, some garlic powder, some Italian seasoning, and just to give it a little kick because everything else is so basic. I mean, it's frozen chicken patties. We're not really doing it anything special. I'm going to add some chicken bouillon powder instead of salt. We may still need a little bit of salt towards the end for serving, but just to give these a little bit more depth of flavor, we're going in with that bouillon powder. Now, I really like these Silpat liners. However, they don't really get your fries crispy. So what I do when I make fries using these is I cook them about half of the way with the Silpat liner, and then I take them off the liner and just put it directly onto the pan to finish the cooking. And that kind of keeps them from sticking to the bottom of the pan, but it also allows them to get crunchy in that last 10 minutes or so of cooking. I have my oven preheating to 400 degrees. It is really warm today, so I'm not excited to turn on my oven, but this is just a little bit too much food to cook in my mini oven. I did see a question as well asking about that mini oven, like, don't you have a regular size oven? I didn't respond because I just didn't get around to it, but yes, I do have a regular size oven, but if you are that person that asked me, I live in Florida. It's really hot and humid. I have an old house with terrible insulation. I don't like turning on my oven if I don't have to, at least the big one. These chicken patties, it says cook for 20 to 25 minutes on 400. So I'm going to put this in for 15 minutes now that my oven is preheated. And then for the last 10 minutes, I'm going to take this off, flip these chicken patties over, rotate my fries, and then they should probably be done. I think I'm going to make my chicken patty into a salad because I have some romaine hearts to use, but I don't have any dressing. So I'm going to make some dressing. I'm going to use the rest of this Greek yogurt that I have and about half of the rest of this packet, as well as a little bit of milk just to thin it out. I might need more of the seasoning. I don't know. I think that's fine. And then I'll just save the rest of that ranch packet. Maybe I can season some more french fries or something with it later. I'm going to put this in the fridge and wait till we're ready to eat. Got everything kind of flipped over here as best I can. I think we might need to go a little bit longer than 10 minutes because this was in for 15. I think 25 is not going to be long enough, especially for the fries. We've got our fries all nice and crispy, our chicken patties. The kids I already have cut up just so that it cools down a little bit, but I'm going to start getting all this plated up. Okay, we have quite the diversity in plates today. Here's the kids. They have some strawberries with theirs. And I just cut up. They each got half of a patty cut up. And here's my husband's more traditional chicken sandwich. We've got lettuce and pickle, and I just did Chick-fil-A sauce on his with some fries on the side. And then mine is a salad. I don't even know if I want to call this a salad. It's just romaine, that ranch dressing that I made, some cut up pickles, and a chopped up chicken patty. I'm going to put some hot sauce on this and go for like a buffalo chicken salad type thing. And then these are the rest of the fries that we have. I am going to eat some of these on the side, probably just with some ketchup. And then if the kids want some more fries, they can have some of these too. But this is dinner tonight. Very filling, very easy, and I got to use up quite a few things that I needed to. Okay, we've got kind of a lot going on tonight. We're going to make a chicken and broccoli noodle stir fry. I bought a 10-pound bag of chicken quarters at Walmart this week. I cleaned them up, and most of them are in the slow cooker here. The thighs are on the bottom, the drumsticks are on the top, and I kept out 3 thighs, took the skin and the bone off, and cut it up into pieces, and I'm going to use that for my chicken in tonight's dinner. And I don't want to eat chicken all week, so once this is cool, I'm going to take half of the drumsticks and put them in the freezer, keep half of them out, and I'm going to shred all the chicken, and I'm going to put half of it in the freezer and keep half of it out. So that's what we'll be working with for chicken in this week's meals. This is my version of a Chinese takeout style brown sauce. I used 1 brown gravy packet, 1 cup of water. In this one, I put the rest of a bottle of hoisin sauce that I had. It was probably like a 1/4 cup, and I used a few tablespoons of soy sauce as well as like 2 teaspoons of Chinese 5-spice. I made dinner with this the other day, and this is what is left. So I'm going to use this up today. I'm also going to season this chicken, doing salt, pepper, coriander, some cumin, and some paprika. Just going to stir this up a bit, and then right here I have 2 cut up small crowns of broccoli. I don't know if you can see it, but my son is over here eating butter. I should probably get that put away. Hey, stop eating butter. I know you're eating the butter. You shouldn't eat the butter. Oh, and also, I've got my water boiling. This is probably 2/3 of the rest of the box of spaghetti. I'm going to cook all this. You want a noodle? Will it get you to stop eating butter?
No.
Here, take that. Give me this. Goodbye. I'm going to try and do this all in one pan. So I'm going to cook the spaghetti, and then when that's done, we'll get everything else started. Okay, going in with some butter. This is the same pan I used to cook the noodles. So if you see this film on the side, that's from the starch water. Going in with our chicken. I think I need to add a little more seasoning on this. I don't think I mixed it up very well. Okay, I'm going to let this cook for a couple minutes. Okay, perfect. Get another minute or 2 on this. Our chicken is mostly done. I'm going to go ahead and add all this broccoli in. We like a lot of broccoli. Ooh, that's gross piece. I'm just going to get rid of that whole bit. But yeah, we like a lot of broccoli. So if you have less broccoli and still want it to go further, just cut it into smaller pieces. I'm not seasoning this broccoli separately because it's just kind of soaking in some of these juices that the chicken put out. And then we still have to put in our sauce, which is going to soak up into that broccoli. And because it has so much sodium in there, I really don't want to oversalt the veg. I'm going to stir this occasionally, cook it for about 5 minutes, and then we will move on to our next step. Okay, this is cooked down how I want it to be. I just pushed everything off to the side. We're going to add the rest of this sauce mix that I have left. There's also garlic in there too, I forgot to say. This is just going to take a couple minutes to thicken up. See how it's getting nice and dark and bubbly. We want to keep stirring this. Okay, now we're going in with the noodles. I put a little oil in these so they didn't stick together. I don't think I'm going to use all of these. I don't think there's enough sauce to cover it well, so let's stop there. Okay, we're just stirring all this up, making sure it's mixed up well. I want this all to cook together for probably 2 or 3 minutes, just so that all of that gravy flavor can kind of get on everything. And then we'll be ready to eat. There it is. Look at how good that looks. The broccoli is perfectly cooked. There's plenty of brown sauce for all the noodles. I know it's not lo mein noodles, but spaghetti works in a pinch. And I didn't have to buy anything extra. Lunch today is very, very simple. We have a little bit of pizza left over from the kids' lunch yesterday. So my son is going to have this with some strawberries. And I have a few corn dogs left in my freezer from a box that I got on clearance. I think there's like 6 of them left. And my daughter said she wanted one of those, so I heated that up with some strawberries for her. My husband works outside, and just as it is for everyone else, it's really hot right now. So to save money, instead of buying a bunch of individual drinks or having to constantly refill bottles throughout the day, I started sending him with these big 32-ounce deli containers with water, and then I just buy a bunch of the flavor packets. These were 2 of them that were already open, so I just mixed them together. It's orange and strawberry. I think that'll be good. I sent him a couple of these this morning when he left work, and then I'm just kind of refilling these. I will usually take him lunch throughout the week just because he only works a couple hours from the house, and it's nice to get out of the house with the kids. And then I can time it with grocery shopping and stuff like that too. So instead of even buying bulk drinks at Sam's or something, or even more expensive, him stopping at the gas station every day and buying a couple Gatorades, I just pack these up. He really likes them. It's a nice change other than just water. I've also got some yogurt here, chopped up strawberries. I picked up strawberries and yogurt this week. I've got some chocolate chips in my freezer. I'll throw a few of those on there. Chocolate and strawberry yogurt, either as a snack or a dessert. And then I'm just going to throw some granola on here too. I know it'll get a little soggy, but he doesn't mind. You want to try some of this? Okay, there's that. This will go in the cooler. I've also got some noodles left over from yesterday. I heated those up, had that separate, and I told y'all I had a full freezer. I'm also heating him up a frozen pizza. These were on clearance for $2. They didn't have a lot of flavors left. They only had buffalo chicken and a couple Supremes. So I've got 1 buffalo chicken going for him now. This is another one, and then 2 Supremes left. This is some clearance deli meat that they had for $1.62 a pack for 8 ounces. I thought that was a pretty good deal. I've got some wontons, which I might have for lunch today. Plenty of butter, ground beef. There's ground turkey in the back there. Here's my veggie scrap bag. What else do I have? Oh, I have ravioli. There's some steamed sweet buns, some red bean buns back there. There's some tamales back there. I only have a small, normal size freezer, but I don't play around about my freezer stock. This looks so good. I want this. Here's how I packed it up. Parchment paper in between. Maybe it seems like a lot, but I feel like I barely did any work for lunch today. I still have to make mine, but I'm not hungry yet, so we'll get there when we get there. Okay, we are doing a super easy dinner tonight, and that is because I have done some prep. I made meatballs. When I had some free time, I pulled 1 pound of ground turkey, just the cheap ground turkey from Walmart, and about 1.5 pounds of beef that I had got on clearance a while ago. I still have some of that in my freezer. And I took a bunch of those hamburger buns that I have and I toasted them up, broke them up into a bunch of breadcrumbs, and I used milk and 2 eggs, softened those all up, and then I added all the meat. I added a bunch of various seasonings, and then I formed them all into like 1-inch meatballs, and I had 2 trays of those. So this is half of them, and the other half is in my freezer. So I figured I'd make something with these tonight. I've got like 3/4 of a bag of green beans. I'm going to use these as a side. And I also had 3 russets that really needed to get used up still. So these are almost done, but I want to make extra potatoes and freeze some of them because this is one of those things that's really easy to just double or triple without much extra effort. So because I've only got the 3 potatoes, I do have boxed mashed potatoes. So I'm going to do 1 serving of boxed mashed potatoes. I need 1 1/3 cups of this. So I took out 1 1/3 cup of the potato water, the boiling potato water. So I'm actually going to strain out those potatoes on the stove right now because this water's hot already. I did turn the stove down a little bit, and I'm going to add equal parts potatoes. My bad, that's too much, but I'm not pouring it back in the box. And I'm just going to mix all this up. Like I said, that was too much. That's okay. I'm going to use up the rest of some milk that I have. We'll need to heat up that a little bit. This did not work out directly as planned, but you know, it's okay. Need to get this nice and hot so that those flakes break down and get nice and creamy. Okay, that's all right for right now. I went ahead and heated up some more water because we're going to need more liquid, and that's all the milk that I had. So I'm just going to pour those potatoes in, and I've got 4 tablespoons of butter here. Break that up into chunks. I'm also going to add a big heaping scoop of garlic. We're going with some garlic mashed potatoes, and we're going to need some salt. I haven't salted anything yet except for that water. That'll be fine for right now. And I'm just going to mash these directly into the instant potatoes. I think this is really going to give the illusion that all of it is from scratch, like from fresh potatoes, because we'll have a little bit of chunkiness in there. This is almost the exact amount of potatoes that I was hoping to get. That butter just needs to melt down. They smell really good. We'll need to do a taste test and see if we have enough salt. Okay, we've got plenty of salt for now. I am going to go ahead and add just a little bit more liquid. This is perfect for serving right now, but I do want these to cook for another couple minutes. So I don't want these to dry out and get too thick while I wait because I got to heat up those meatballs and get our green beans going. Okay, green beans, more butter, garlic, and salt. If I had to pick one seasoning to use forever other than salt and pepper, I don't know what one it would be, but garlic would be up there. Salt. And I'm also going to put some Italian seasoning in here because why not? Some water for steam and a lid. We'll let those go. And these are already cooked, like I said, so I'm just going to heat up as many as I know we're going to eat tonight. Maybe 2 for each of the kids. I'll probably have 4, 5. And we'll do 6 for my husband. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I have an idea to use the rest of these in the next couple days. Then more water and a lid. I was considering doing a Swedish type meatball, but I don't have any beef base. And I also don't have any sour cream. So I couldn't really do that. The only bouillon I had is chicken, and I don't want to make a chicken gravy. I mean, I suppose I could. I think I'm going to be the only one that would eat it, though. Sorry if you can hear my kids screaming in the background. They're playing tag. But I think our green beans are almost done. Perfect. Our potatoes are heated all the way through, and our meatballs are almost reheated. I decided not to go with the gravy. I just figured why dirty an extra dish for one person. So 5 more minutes or so, and we'll be ready to eat. Okay, here are the kids' plates. They fortunately love everything that I made tonight individually, so this is going to keep them full for a while. And for the most part, their plates should probably be empty. And here is mine. Of course, it's in a bowl format. It would be better with gravy, but you know, I think this is going to be just fine. My husband's not going to be home for a while. He's working late, so his will probably look much the same when he gets home. Tonight's the last dinner I'm going to be making before I go grocery shopping tomorrow. So this is also kind of a random assortment of things that I need to use up. I've got 2 tablespoons of butter going. This might even be a little more than 2 tablespoons, but that's okay because we are going to make rice pilaf. So I'm starting with some spaghetti noodles and I'm just going to break those into small pieces into the butter. If you have the little packets of vermicelli, that's much easier than doing this, but I don't buy those because I don't mind breaking this up and I usually always have spaghetti noodles. They're not uniform in size, but that's another thing that I don't care about. Okay, stir that around. We're gonna fry this up a little bit with our rice. This is 1 cup of washed rice. And I just want all this to crisp up. This will take a couple minutes. Probably a good thing I have probably an extra tablespoon of butter in there than I thought, just so we can coat everything nicely and get all that butter flavor in there. And while that's toasting up, I'm going to show you everything else I'm kind of working with here. I've got 2 whole wheat tortillas left. I've got 3 corn tortillas. I've got a couple slices of provolone cheese. There's 2 slices in here. I've got some cheddar cheese. And I've got about half a can of my home canned chicken. I opened this up and used half of it for lunch today. So I'm going to use the rest of this to make dinner. By the end of this meal, hopefully the only thing I'll have left is this chunk of cheese. I'm going to use this chicken to make some chicken quesadillas. I think I'm going to do like hot sauce chicken. I don't have any buffalo sauce, but we could kind of make something similar to a buffalo sauce. My daughter's going to want chicken and my son is not going to want chicken in his. So I'm not going to put hot sauce in all of it. And I'm going to set some aside for my daughter's. She's going to want hers with corn. So we're not going to need a lot of it. And then to mix into this, I have the rest of that ranch seasoning packet. I'm going to pour that in there. And I'm going to pour some hot sauce in there. This is just a really cheap hot sauce from Aldi. And I'm just going to stir it up. And this is what my husband and I will use as a filling for our chicken quesadillas. I think we are just about toasted up over here. We're going to need 2 cups of water. So I'm going to add a little over 2 teaspoons or so of chicken bouillon powder. And I'm also going to put some oregano in here. I'm almost out of this and I have it on my list for stock up. So this will help me get rid of this. We're going to add our 2 cups of water. I'm going to give it a quick stir, let it come back up to a boil. We're bubbling. I'm going to reduce this temperature, put a lid on it, and this is going to cook for about 20 minutes, maybe 25. Don't touch the lid. Off camera, I'm going to shred up some of this cheese, some extra sharp cheddar. Okay, I know I said not to open it, and it's been like 10 minutes, but I've got some peas in the freezer, and instead of doing them separately, I want them cooked into the rice. So I'm just going to open this up quick and sprinkle some peas on top. Sorry, steam. It might have to go a couple extra minutes, but these are the risks we take so that I don't have extra dishes. Off camera, I also buttered my tortillas, the corn ones and the whole wheat ones. Because my son's is just cheese, I'm going to put 1 whole slice of cheese in his, and Seema's only going to get 1 piece of cheese. Well, a half a slice in each half, because she's going to get some chicken in hers. And I'm going to make her 2 because I have a feeling that she's going to tell me she wants another one. And then I'm not going to have any chicken left. So she's going to get 2. And I season my chicken with chicken bouillon powder before I can it. I know I'm not supposed to do that because it has thickening agents in it, but it works for me. I've never had a problem and we really enjoy the flavor and it makes a good broth that the chicken sits in. Okay, perfect. I'm going to let these tortillas cook a little bit like this and let them steam enough so that they're more pliable before I try and flip them over. Okay, I think we're ready to flip. Also, it's a crazy storm all of a sudden outside, so there might be heavy thunder in the background or something. Gotta love a good old flash tropical storm. And I'm just gonna wait another minute or two on each sides of these, and these are gonna be done. Okay, we've got the kids off. Okay, I'm gonna set this kind of half. Oops, no, I put it upside down. All right, I'm gonna set this up half and half like this. We've got our shredded cheese. I'm gonna do some cheese on each side so that it sticks good. I'm gonna add like half of the chicken onto his. At this point, it's kind of like mush, but still got some texture. Okay, ooh, this is really tasty too. Like just a slight hint of the hot sauce, but you can really taste the ranch. More cheese. We're gonna make this really cheesy. Okay, this was dumb way to do it, but I tried. Okay, I think my side has more chicken. Whoops. I should turn this down a little bit because this chicken needs to get heated too. Oh my gosh, it is really coming down out there. I hope I don't lose power. We cut all our dead trees down, but that doesn't mean everybody else did. That's my timer for my rice. And I'm gonna put a lid on this to try and heat up my chicken in the interior. We'll be back in 2 minutes. We're super melty, so I think that we're warm in the middle. So I'm gonna crank this back up a little bit before this just falls apart. We're going for the crisp. Okay, my power just flickered. So I'm gonna flip these and try and get the other side crispy. In case I do lose power, it won't be one side cooked and the other side not, and we can still eat dinner. Ooh, we got them crispy. Okay, this is it. Dinner tonight, all plated up. Fingers crossed the lights stay on, guys, because I want to watch a movie and eat this and go to sleep. That's all I've got for you today. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video and it gave you some inspiration to use up some things that you might already have in your own kitchen. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, leave me some type of food emoji in the comments below. The engagement really helps out the channel and I greatly appreciate it. If you like content like this, I post videos every single week, so make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss out, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye-bye!